Welcome to Range of Reality, the podcast where we talk real world, personal safety, empowerment, and situational awareness. I'm your host, Jody Salerno. Before I begin this episode, I'd like to tell you about my sponsor. It's my sponsors that allow me to do this podcast, so please support them. If you ever have to defend yourself, the fight doesn't end when the threat is gone. Legal trouble, court cost, lost wages, it all adds up fast. And that's where the United States Concealed Carry Association comes in. They provide award-winning self-defense training and education, but more than that, they've secured liability insurance for their members that helps cover bail, legal fees, and other critical costs after an incident. Visit uscca.com and see why peace of mind is part of being prepared. Hey everyone, I'm Jody Salerno. This is Range of Reality, where we strip down the lies we've been fed about safety, strength, and the stories we tell ourselves to stay polite. Today's episode isn't about paranoia. It's about pattern recognition, spotting danger before it escalates. Because let's face it, dating can be fun, thrilling, and hopeful. But we want it to be that way for the right reasons. So let's talk about how to protect yourself while dating online and in real life. Because danger doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears a nice smile, good manners, and a very convincing bio. So let's be honest. Why do we even have to talk about this? Most violence against women doesn't come from strangers in dark alleys. It comes from someone they know, a coworker, a friend, a date. 1 in 3 women will experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. That's not rare. That's a pattern. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, the National Crime Victimization Survey, in 2023, there were over 6 million total violent crimes reported. Out of that 6 million, over 1 million were domestic violence crimes. Almost 700,000 of those were intimate partner violence, and over 3 million reported were stranger violence. Rapists don't announce themselves. They flirt, they're funny, they text you good morning or good morning beautiful. Then they push past your boundaries and expect you to excuse it. I had a friend who went on a second date. He was sweet until he wasn't. He grabbed her wrist when she pulled away from a kiss. She laughed it off. He apologized. A week later, he showed up uninvited at her place. She couldn't get rid of him. She had to call the cops. She lived, but the fear stuck. Listen to your gut. The moment you feel off, that's not paranoia. That's prevention. According to RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, in 2023, 30% of Americans used online dating services or apps, according to the Pew Research Center. As in the case when meeting someone new, whether online or offline, it's wise to keep a few precautions in mind for safety interactions. Very few dating apps conduct criminal background checks on users, so it's up to you to determine if you feel comfortable enough meeting someone. And remember that if you do experience sexual violence while dating online or using an app, it is not your fault. Here are some steps that you can take for safer interactions with others through online dating apps and services, whether you are interacting virtually or in person. I say safer because no sexual violence safety tip is ever a promise of safety. And the only one responsible for sexual assault is a predator. Full stop. When connecting online, use different photos for your dating profile. It's easy to do a reverse image search with Google. If your dating profile has a photo that shows up on your Instagram or Facebook account, it will be easier for someone to find you on social media. Avoid sharing live or motion photos. Photos taken in live mode include geolocation information that can be passed on along with a photo. Exercise caution when sharing these images with matches and potential dates. Avoid connecting with suspicious profiles. If the person you matched with has no bio, linked social media accounts, and has only one posted picture, it may be a fake account. It's important to use caution if you choose to connect with someone you have so little information about. Check out your potential date on social media. If you know your match's name or handles on social media, or better yet, if you have mutual friends online, look them up. Make sure they aren't catfishing you by using a fake social media account to create their dating profile. Block and report suspicious users. You can block and report another user if you feel their profile is suspicious or if they have acted inappropriately towards you. This can often be done anonymously before or after you're matched. As with any personal interaction, it is always possible for people to misrepresent themselves. Trust your instincts about whether you feel someone is representing themselves truthfully or not. Here are some examples of some common stories or suspicious behaviors scammers may use to build trust and sympathy so that they can manipulate another user in an unhealthy way. Asks for financial assistance in any way, often because of a sudden personal crisis. Claims to be from the United States, but is currently living, working, or traveling abroad. Claims to be recently widowed with children. If they disappear suddenly from the site, then reappear under a different name. If they give vague answers to specific questions. If they are overly complimentary and romantic too early in your communication. If you feel pressured to provide your phone number or talk outside the dating app or site too soon. A request for your home or work address under the guise of sending flowers or gifts is a red flag. If they tell inconsistent or grandiose stories. Or if they use disjointed language and grammar, but has a high level of education. Some of the behavior you may want to report can include requesting financial assistance, requesting photographs, if the person is a minor, if they send harassing or offensive messages, any attempts to threaten or intimidate you in any way, if the profile seems fake, if they try to sell you products or services. Wait to share personal information. Never give someone you haven't met with in person your personal information, including your social security number, credit card details, bank information, or work or home address. Dating apps and websites will never send you an email asking for your username and password information. So if you receive a request for your login information, delete it and consider reporting it. Don't respond to requests for financial help, no matter how convincing and compelling someone's reason may seem. Never respond to a request to send money, especially overseas or via wire transfer. If you do get such a request, report it to the app or site you're using immediately. Once you have matched with a potential date and chatted, consider scheduling a video chat with them before meeting up in person for the first time. This can be a good way to help ensure your match is who they claim to be in their profile. If they strongly resist a video call, that could be a sign of suspicious activity. It will also give you the opportunity to see if you click with that person before wasting any more time. Tell a friend where you're going. Take a screenshot of your date's profile and send it to a friend. Let at least one friend know where and when you plan to go on your date. If you continue your date in another place you hadn't planned on, text a friend to let them know your new location. It may also be helpful to arrange to text or call a friend partway through the date or when you get home to check in. Meet in a public place. For your first date, avoid meeting someone you don't know well yet in your home, apartment, or workplace. It may make both of you and your date feel more comfortable to meet in a coffee shop, restaurant, or bar with plenty of other people around. Avoid meeting in public parks and other isolated locations for first dates. And don't rely on your date for transportation. It's important that you're in control of your own transportation to and from the date so that you can leave whenever you want and you don't have to rely on your date in case you start feeling uncomfortable. Even if the person you're meeting volunteers to pick you up, avoid getting into a vehicle with someone you don't know and trust, especially if it's the first meeting. Have a few rideshare apps downloaded on your phone so in case one is not working when you need it, you'll have a backup. Make sure you have data on your phone and it's fully charged, or consider bringing your charger or a portable battery with you. Stick to what you're most comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with having a few drinks on a date. Try to keep your limits in mind and do not feel pressured to drink just because your date is drinking. It can also be a good idea to avoid prescription drugs before or during a first date with someone new. Drugs could alter your perception of reality or have unexpected interactions with alcohol. You want to enlist the help of a bartender or waiter. If you feel uncomfortable in a situation, it can help to find an advocate nearby. You can enlist the help of a waiter or bartender to help you create a distraction. Call the police or get a safe ride home. And trust your instincts. If you feel uncomfortable, trust your instincts and feel free to leave a date or cut off communication with whoever is making you feel unsafe. Don't worry about being rude. Your safety is more important, and your date should understand that. If you feel uncomfortable or unsafe during the date, remember, you can always unmatch, block, or report your match after meeting up in person, which will keep them from being able to access your profile in the future. We've been trained to laugh it off when it comes to niceness. We've been trained to keep the peace and avoid making it awkward. But predators count on your politeness. If someone gets upset by a boundary you've set, that's a warning. You owe no one a reason, a second chance, or your presence. Say this out loud. I care more about getting home safe than being nice. I don't need your permission to protect myself. Practice the words, "That's not okay with me," over and over until it comes out with confidence. Predators rarely start with violence. First, they test you. And this is how. A hand on your back too soon. Jokes on how serious you are. Getting annoyed when you won't share your address. Saying, "I'd never hurt you," way too early. That's not romance, that's manipulation. Fast affection, love bombing, that's not sweet. That's a strategy to disarm you. And if someone flips out the first time you say no, that's not passion, it's control. Let's stop failing these tests. And let's talk about some tools and tactics that we can use and some scenarios to give you some examples of how to use them. So here's your gear and exactly how to use it. First would be pepper spray or gel. You want to keep it on your keychain or inside your bag. Know how to unlock it and practice at home with a water canister. Use it when a date walks you to your car and keeps pushing you when you say goodbye. You say, "I'm good," but he follows. Show it, warn once, then spray. Personal alarm. Clip it to your purse or keys. Make sure it's 120 decibels or more. Yank it to activate. You're walking back to your car and someone's trailing you. Pull the alarm. It draws attention. It can startle a stalker into retreat. Tactical flashlight. Carry it in your bag. Flash it in the eyes to disorient. Get one with a strobing light. That will really blind them. And get one with rigid edges around the light. Not only will it hurt, but it can also collect DNA if needed. When to use it? If you're in a dim parking garage, someone approaches. You shine the light, blinding them. You get to your car and leave. Door stop alarm. Place under hotel or Airbnb door. If someone pushes the door, it screams. Use it when you're traveling. Safety first, no exceptions. And how about a dummy wallet? Keep a decoy wallet with expired cards and a few bills. Hide your real one. If someone demands your wallet, toss the decoy and run. Now that you know what to look for, let's rehearse it. Picture yourself leaving mid-date. Picture yourself saying, "That's not okay." Picture yourself pulling that alarm. Say it out loud. "I'm leaving now. This doesn't feel right. No." Train your brain to act fast because the freeze response is real, but practice can break it. I had a student that I was talking to that told me a story about how she ended a date after 15 minutes. She said her date was pushy and too intense. She left and went home. Weeks later, she saw him arrested for harassing someone else. She dodged a bullet, a red flag. Another woman fake called a friend and left when her date kept brushing her knee after she said, "Please stop." Your gut speaks. You've just got to listen to it. So this isn't about fear. It's about foresight. Trust your gut. Carry your tools, share your location, set your boundaries, and hold the line. You don't owe anyone your comfort or your silence. You owe yourself safety. If this episode hit home, share it. Tag me at Range of Reality. Tell me one boundary you're setting this week. And grab your free safety checklist at www.rangeofreality.com. Any product that you hear me discuss on this podcast can be found and purchased on my Amazon page. Additionally, I have products that are my personal favorites in terms of personal safety. Check the link in my description. Please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to support my sponsor, United States Concealed Carry Association, USCCA.com, or on my website, rangeofreality.com. Until next time, stay alert, stay empowered, and never trade your safety for someone else's comfort.